Welcome back, boys, to Contest of Champions. The draft is in the books, and we are going to review everyone's teams out here now. Just after the draft, we got a couple people with us in the chat. We got me, Andrew, Kyle, Craig, maybe Dan, Jeremy, and Nathan, and we're going to see who thinks what about some of the picks that went down here tonight. All right, boys, let's get it started. We're going to start with the first overall pick, Travis. He hate me because Jeremy does in fact hate him.
Rivalry. Wait, this one's mine?
Wow, we cannot hear you, Andrew. So you might want to boost those mics.
Hey, now it's me on the ones and twos.
Draft results by teams. We got he hate me. Let's see.
Am
So
I
we
allowed to
got
talk?
Travis. Yeah. You can input your as long as you keep it like relatively on topic at least.
Okay.
We're gonna So you've watched the videos, right, Kyle? You support the channel? Support
I support
the.
the channel. I've never seen a video.
All right, cool.
First time viewer?
First time viewer.
Are you really
Long
surprised?
time,
Alright.
first time.
We've got Travis, the first overall pick. Nothing fancy here. Takes Christian McCaffrey. On the way back, not left with a lot of options at wide receiver. I understand that. Picks A.J. Brown, which at that time was the highest receiver on the board. Just chalk
Can you
here,
go
right,
by
boys?
round? Can you go by round?
You want to go by round? And but then we have to go like, each guy.
It's right next to it. It's right next to it.
Yeah,
Let me
but
just
this.
see it.
You'd rather go by round and then look at like the teams like
You gotta
this?
go up, down,
Yeah.
up, down. Well, I want to see who took him over type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we usually do that with like we'll do that with like some of the like. Hold on, here's what we do. We gotta be intelligent about this. Multi-tab,
Yeah, just
multi-tab.
go back and forth.
Multi-tab. All right, we're gonna look at Travis's players. All right. We'll do week
Right.
1 projections. Should have set this up in pre-production. Draft results. Let's see. This one by team. This one by round.
I got a
Lovely. And we got the team. All right. So he takes Christian McCaffrey first overall. Nice and easy. Then he takes A.J. Brown and Darrell Henderson at the turn. Looking around at this turn,
That's an early
There-
barrel.
there was not a lot,
Good
but
lead.
there wasn't a lot here. Like, he's thinking, I want a wide receiver and a running back. A.J. Brown at this point, the best receiver on the board. Nothing questionable about that.
I think Darrell Henderson was more of a stretch than.
But Darrell
A.J.
Henderson,
Brown.
look at the competition here if he wants a running back. It's Darrell Henderson, Miles Sanders,
Miles
Gus
Sanders,
Edwards, or
Gus
Josh
Edwards.
Jacobs. Like,
Yeah, it's.
you're talking about a lot of guys who are relatively unproven based on their new status. You know what I mean? Darrell Henderson's coming into a new role. Gus Edwards coming into a new role. Josh Jacobs got a great backup running back. Kenyon Drake on the Raiders this year. Who knows what that guy's going to do?
Oh.
So overall, I don't think there's anything wrong with this pick. I think
never
Darrell
did.
Henderson is going to catch the ball more than either one of these two guys, so he presents more upside than them. I think it's a fine pick. Who do you go after that? That's right. Then he picks Deontay Johnson. I was upset about this, but not really. That was my potential pick there. I think he was the best receiver on the board at that time, too. We had Deontay, and who gets picked afterwards? T. Higgins, maybe. Chase Claypool, who's on the same team. Adam Thielen, little fall guy. We'll talk about that later. Good pick, Craig. Yeah, probably the projected wide receiver 1 in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Good pick. DeAndre Swift, that's a keeper. Who knows? Hope that guy's ankle's feeling better by week 1. Am I right? Comes back around. Ronald Jones. I thought this pick was weird, personally.
Ronald Jones at 6 is early.
He has 3 running backs on his roster, and he goes Ronald Jones in the 6th round. At the end of the 6th round, he's looking at some of these other guys here. Obviously, he goes Tunyon right afterwards, wants to fill out his tight end position. Tunyon at that point was like the only tier, like upper tier tight end, because Tyler Higbee had been drafted around prior. I think that's fine. But like, I don't know. I'm looking at guys like Courtland Sutton, Antonio Brown,
I'd take Hawkins. over
Deebo
Tonyan.
Samuel. Yeah, that's really fair. I didn't realize Hawkinson was still there actually. Wow, that's weird that he got picked before Tunyon or Tyler Higbee. Jesus, that's a steal and a half, Dan.
Yep. I saw that and I was like, why do I have Travis Kelce?
Yeah, wow. I really wish I had T.J. Hawkinson in the 7th instead
Are we
of
up to the 6th pick yet,
George
or
Kittle.
what?
No. It's gonna take a while, Kyle. It always does. Yeah, I would have liked a lot of these picks. Even like Brandon Cooks, Corey Day. I would have liked a lot of these picks over Ronald Jones, who's like a split time RB.
Oh, wait. Can I get that spin before you?
He goes Tunyon, that's fine. Jalen Hurts, that's fine. He's the best quarterback available at that point in the draft, arguably. the highest rated quarterback. He could have picked him. He could have picked Tannehill. He could have picked Stafford. He's a Philly fan.
You wanna give it a
We're
white
not going to hurt him
versus
for picking
a-
the running option quarterback. Then at his next turn, he goes Michael Gallup and Darnell Mooney.
Love the Darnell Mooney.
And I love the Darnell Mooney pick. That was a great pick there. I feel like every pick with Travis, I feel I have to include what I was thinking as the 2 pick, picking right next to him a lot of the time. I was considering a lot of these players. He picks Jalen Hurts. He picks Michael Gallup. Oh, he picked Michael Gallup here over. Wow. I don't know if I would have picked Michael Gallup over literally any of these players in this round. Is Michael Gallup the worst pick of the 9th round, Travis? Nope. Pat Fryermuth. Never mind.
That
Is
doesn't count.
Is Michael Gallup the 2nd worst pick of the 9th round? Maybe. That guy's like the 4th option, 5th option on that team. I don't know about that one, Travis. We'll see how that pans out. And the 10th round, late goes Darnell Mooney. I think that was a great pick. That's big value there. Really fills out his team. He needs wide receiver depth at this point. Justin Tucker, whatever, best kicker available. Indianapolis D, whatever, best kicker available. Handcuff. Trevor Lawrence upside, maybe he's great. And Gronk in the 15th round. Cool, backup tight end. That's Travis in the books. Let's see. When I looked at the league, Travis, #1 rated draft by Yahoo. Oh, wait, league. #1. He got the A-. Only A of any type. Anything? They think Tony Pollard was his best pick. Going out on a limb, Michael Gallup. Teammates. Yeah, we agreed with this.
Tony Pollard is best pick if he got an A. It makes no sense.
Yeah, Yahoo is broken. It hates you if you pick quarterbacks late, which is like what everybody on the planet thinks you're supposed to do. So that's interesting. Yeah. Overall, it's a really nice core to look at every week, though. This core right here is gonna score a lot of points. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Wow.
What do we think in terms of grade? We got a grade Travis here today. I'm thinking no, we go 1 to 10. We like number grades here. I'm thinking something high, but not too high. Maybe like a 7.9.
I give him like a 6.
Anthony, I'm coming in hot at like a 7.6.
I said 7.9. That's not that high.
7.8.
Kyle says 7.8.
As a group. No, as a group, I said high. I said 8. I said low 8s. But I'm saying as a group, I think.
All right, it's 7.8. 7.8 for Travis. A good draft. Not great, but good.
I think this is a bad
It's a little
draft.
higher, but
Yeah, it's crazy to think this is a bad draft, Jeremy. Look at this starting lineup and just say this is a bad draft.
there's no way it's a bad draft.
Like, look at the
It's
team
first
as a whole
CMC.
now instead of round by round.
I'm not gonna give him credit for Christian McCaffrey. That was like
That's
freaking
fine.
There's no
But, like,
credit.
that-
There's no
but
credit.
he's
He
on
has
his
him
team.
He got the #1 overall pick. He has Christian McCaffrey on
Yeah.
his fucking team.
So I'm
He's
interested in
gonna
this.
beat
Now,
you.
this year
The
with
league
production
will play
value,
him.
we're
Christian
gonna add
McCaffrey's
people
gonna
to the
beat
weekly
your ass.
reviews. Jeremy, what's your issue with the team? I'm interested.
It's like maybe a 7 or a 6.5.
No, but why?
I don't know. I don't like Henderson 3rd. I don't like Deontay 4th.
So you would have preferred him to
But
have
I
like
guess I'm
Christian
I'm,
McCaffrey
like,
and Josh Jacobs?
discounting- I guess I'm not discounting the keepers.
Yeah, like you're not properly evaluating. Like realistically, you have to think of every player being picked 1 round later. So Darrell Henderson in like the
Yeah.
4th round is like pretty
I
good.
guess that makes sense.
Deontay Johnson in the 5th is good. Like because at that point in the draft, almost half the keepers are gone by the 5th round.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that he didn't have a 5th round pick. DeAndre Swift is 5th round pick, so you have to reach on your 4th round pick to get a key piece of your team, and that's what he did with Deontay Johnson. That's
Alright,
fair.
That makes more sense then.
Yeah. That's
I
fair.
felt like Swift was later, but I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was
his fifth.
it was his 5th rounder. That's fair, and I could even parlay that right into my pick because the same type of thing happened. I'll skip over a couple of my picks and we can go back. So in the 2nd pick, that was me. You boy, Dalvin I steal. In the 4th round, I was looking at Raheem Mostert and Deontay Johnson, and I was between the two of them. And with only one running back on my roster at this point, this is a big reach. And I know it's a big reach, but at this point, looking at everybody else that gets picked after him, I was not willing to make the choice of picking any of these running backs, Chase Edmonds or Kareem Hunt or Trey Sermon. I didn't want any of those guys over Raheem Mostert.
Is the same side that's French German?
What? Talking about Andrew's like history? His lineage?
Or are they opposite sides? And is there tension if they are?
Anyway.
Listen, weird segue. Anyway, Raheem Mostert, I think he's definitely going to win you some weeks for sure.
Yeah. Maybe like weeks 1, 2, and 3. We'll see after that.
He can come back in the playoffs.
I think the biggest part of Raheem Mostert to me is the upside that he adds to my team. Like I've already got Dalvin Cook and Antonio Gibson. They're going to carry my running back room. And Raheem Mostert could just pop off at any moment and just drop like a 20 bomb with an 80-yard touchdown run. Yeah, but anyway, I mean like chalk Dalvin Cook. Man, you guys giga tilted me here. This run of wide receivers, man, I'm sad. I was so sad here.
George Kittle again.
I'm not an AJ Brown believer, and that's unfortunate because any AJ Brown believer just takes AJ Brown there and they're fine. But I just don't think that his value in the second round, as arguably the second best receiver on his own team, is good enough for me there. And that's my problem with AJ Brown in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't want to pick him. And I go with George Kittle, who's, man, the only thing stopping him is injury. As long as he doesn't get hurt, people forget that he was arguably better than Travis Kelce 2 years ago. He was so good. So good.
Yep, he was on my team. He was a beast.
Yo, here's a regurgitated fantasy football stat. George Kittle averages more yards per catch than, who is it? Than like Tyreek Hill, and more yards after catch than like another. Like he averages more yards on each receiver. Or it's average. Kyle, it's his average depth of target is higher than Tyreek Hill. So like he's targeted deeper downfield on plays than Tyreek Hill. So like he's getting chunk plays super consistently. Yeah.
Big fella.
Yeah. And he's got like huge big play potential. I'm not upset that George Kittle's on my team, but I don't like that I had to pick him there because I really wanted one of these two guys. I really wanted Keenan or Allen Robinson. That's what I really wanted.
Yeah.
That's what I really wanted. I wanted to pair them with one of these guys. Like I wanted to go Allen Robinson, Darrell Henderson. That was like my ideal comp. Maybe Gus Edwards if that's gone. I wasn't going to reach on Josh Jacobs. I would have just gone 2 wide receivers. But even if one of these guys falls and I'm left with AJ Brown, I would have been fine with that having a different wide receiver on my team. Like having Allen Robinson and AJ Brown, that's fine to me. But I don't want AJ Brown to be my only wide receiver. So then I go Raheem Mostert. We already talked about the big reach there, which was fine. I'm a believer in Raheem Mostert, the way he performed in preseason, which I know nobody shouldn't factor that in. But
here's the thing, boss. Your team will live and die for that wide receiver 2 spot.
Yes, 100%. And that is because, okay, Antonio Gibson, keeper. That's fine. Lock it in. This is the wide receiver 2 spot. Literally everybody right here. I just need one guy. I can't get the highlight to work. From this section to be a valuable week in, week out wide receiver 2. That's all I need. Any one guy. And if I can find that guy, my team's going to be in great shape.
Now, personally, I think it'll be Courtland Sutton. But
you
never know.
So here's the thing: is what I'm thinking is going to happen is it's going to be a hot Marquez Callaway early season. I think Marquez Callaway is going to be the guy weeks like 1, 2 that's going to get the bomb touchdowns. He's going to have all the targets. And then that's when I'm hoping Will Fuller can come on. I'm hoping Courtland Sutton gets back in form because he hasn't played a lot in this preseason. He hasn't really practiced with his team. These guys are going to need a couple weeks to turn online. These are the 2 banks right here. I need one of these 2 guys who has been he's been elite. Courtland Sutton hasn't been elite. He's been good. To just be good. That's all I need. And to be fair, I need CeeDee Lamb to be the truth. That's true too. This is terrifying to me. This is another one of those Nathan's going to hate me range of outcome guys. CeeDee Lamb could be wide receiver 1 this season.
No, I don't hate you.
Yeah.
I think that's like a...
No, I was just saying you don't like the statement, like range of outcomes could be wide receiver. Like could be the number 1 play. Like CeeDee Lamb could not easily, but he's in the conversation of guys that could be the best wide receiver in fantasy football this season. Because he's on maybe the best offense in the league. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Whatever. Bunch of bench pieces. Tevin Coleman's really nice as an RB4. Minnesota's a good week 1 matchup. They're playing the Bengals. Hope they shred them up. Ryan Tannehill's the starter. Zach Wilson's the rookie of the year. He's the starter. AJ Green because suck it, Andrew.
All right, you ready for your grade?
Yeah, what's my grade? All right, hold on. I'll get my grade first of what I would grade myself, and I'll let you guys actually. Okay. My grade doesn't have an impact on my grade. So I think I do look at my team compared to Travis's team. I like my team more.
Me too.
But I don't think I drafted better than him, which is weird. Like, it's a weird counter statement. I think it's because my Antonio Gibson value is way better than his DeAndre Swift value. And that's what makes the team better. That's not really the draft. So I think in terms of my draft ability, it was like a 7.6. But if I had to rate my team versus Travis's, it'd be like an 8.1. But I'll let you guys give the final.
I think you're an 8 because I like the upside picks of CD, Raheem, Will Fuller, while you have the safe picks of like Antonio, Dalvin, so it like pushes them up. And then George is like safe, but also upsidey.
Andrew?
I'll give you an 8-1.
8-1 says Kyle.
8-2.
Yo, listen. It's not picky, but I'm coming in like a 6.8.
Yeah. I knew Andrew wasn't going to like my team.
Yeah.
Damn. But why?
Yeah, Andrew, what is it
I-
about it? Same thing. Jeremy had a problem with Travis's team. What was your problem with mine?
I mean, I love the running backs. I mean, the running backs are
Of
absolutely
course.
solid.
I mean, they're the core of the team.
I mean, your QB, like, I mean, Ryan Tannehill's pretty great. But like, he's gonna have downtime, and that wide receiver, like, if CD doesn't hit, like, you're just scrambling every week to pick a guy.
You're not wrong.
Like, you're
You're
gonna have
you're
a bad time.
you're obviously not wrong. I just don't. The question is, Andrew, does it matter?
It doesn't matter. I mean,
Like, are my running backs and George Kittle so good that my receivers can be mediocre at best and I can make a run? And I think that's the case.
right.
Like, I don't even need 2 wide receivers every week. I just need 1. So out of the 2 guys I start, I just need 1 to do well. And if, like,
Yeah,
Dalvin Cook is Dalvin Cook from last year and he's dropping 25 every week, like, he'll cover for the wide receiver 2 that scores 9 points.
You know what I think really bothers me? It's that Tyler Boyd pick.
That Tyler,
And like,
same.
in
All right,
the
you want to look at? Let's look at the Tyler Boyd pick because I hated it. I hated everything about it. I
really
didn't
didn't
want
like
him.
it.
Where is the 6th round? Fucking Bender, bro. This pick, I wanted Robbie Anderson here so bad.
yeah.
This would have been perfect. Robbie Anderson's a lock-in, start him every week, wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
And it would have really made my team feel so much better because I would have the week 1 knowledge that, like, he's going to do well.
You know what I think? You know what I think is really throwing me off is that like Tyler Boyd like has been a very safe like hands guy. I think the fact that you passed on Antonio Brown and Deebo Samuel.
So
even, like,
again,
Corey
we
Davis.
talked about the Deebo Samuel pass. I can't be the George Kittle,
You're right,
Raheem
you're right,
Mostert,
you're right,
Deebo
you're right.
Samuel owner.
But I mean, I feel like they're such better guys that I would take. I mean, yeah, I feel like there's such better guys out there.
But
that you picked Boyd over.
So here's the thing: is I'm picking Boyd because of that safe element. Like, I'm just trying to find an 11-point wide receiver 2, and I think Boyd is that.
Yeah,
Like-
but you're hoping he's an 11-point. Like, I don't even know if he'll do that.
If he's an 8-point wide receiver 2, that's fine.
Oh.
Like, to me, Antonio Brown is going to have multiple weeks this season. And by multiple, I mean personally. I think Antonio Brown's going to have like 5 or 6 weeks of like less than 7 points this season. He's going to be he's going to be unstartable frequently because of how many weapons exist on that offense. Like, there's so many people on that offense, or the Mike Evans and Chris Godwin valuation is totally wrong, and Antonio Brown's going to be the best player on the team. Like, that's also an option. But,
Yeah.
it's really hard to sustain 3 to 4 if Gronk is relevant. Fantasy football wide receivers in a given season, week in and week out. Like, yeah, you can sustain them season long, but week in and week out, there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. This is what I think was actually the panic here. And I think my pick should have been Brandon Cooks at that spot.
Wow. I was thinking about that. I didn't bring him up.
Yeah.
'cause
I
I'm
had
like,
him
got
queued.
that.
I had him queued there, and I didn't pick him, and I went with Tyler Boyd. Like, I made the split-second decision to pick Tyler Boyd over Brandon Cooks. These were the 2 players I was considering because I knew I was going to take Courtland Sutton on the way back.
Yeah.
And actually, I think if Travis would have taken Courtland Sutton in between, I would have taken Brandon Cooks. But I went with Tyler Boyd instead of Brandon Cooks. One, Jamar Chase is a joke to me. That guy has been dropping everything. There's no good reports about him, and I am a huge Bengal hater. I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in football this season.
I think it's weird though, like you saying that, but like you have Tyler Boyd. It's a
Yes,
little weird to me.
I think they're going to be terrible, but they're going to throw the ball somewhere, and I think it's primarily Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. I don't think Jamar Chase
Let's
is going
move
to.
on.
Yeah, we'll
Let's
move
move on.
on. I don't have any problems with what you said. Let's see. You said 7-6, or you said 6-8. Nathan said, or not Nathan. Jeremy said 8, and Kyle said 8-2. That's like right around the same range as Travis. It's like 7.
Yo, meet me in the middle at 7.3.
Absolutely not. It's not a meet in the middle. It's a 2-1 situation.
All right, meet me at 7.5.
All right, 7.8. You know how math works. Do you know how that works? You want me to do that? 6.8 plus 8.2 plus 8 equals 17 divided by wait, how do you average things out? Shit, it's not 3. Is it 3? Oh, wait, this I was like, why did this not work? It didn't seem right. I was like, it's way too low. There we go. Now it's divided by 3. Cool. 7.7. We round up here, not 2 decimals.
What, dude? That's Anthony's beefing his ranking. I don't know. All right, 7.7. 7.7. Lock it in.
7.7. All right, who's third? We got to get on with this. It's Bender. Bender picks Kamara over Derrick Henry. Yeah. Pick your poison. Both great.
I see some major red flags.
We've had that conversation a lot of times over the last few days. Can't go wrong. Pick one of them. Team's gonna be good. Alvin Kamara. Then he goes Terry McLaurin, who, as I explained on my sad journey, only receiver left here, unless you're gonna go AJ Brown. And he didn't go AJ Brown. He went Terry, and that's fine. I think Terry is on a team where there's no equal to him. He's gonna get all the wide receiver 1 looks, where AJ Brown might not. He might, but he might not. So that's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't remember where the tabs are. This pick, Miles Sanders in the 3rd. We got to investigate here. What was going on in the 3rd round? He goes Miles Sanders instead of Gus Edwards, instead of a second wide receiver and like Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper. Man, now that I look at this, there's not a lot wrong with this Miles Sanders pick, in my opinion.
Listen, you want my? I'll give you a rating right now.
I mean, we got to do his team, but yeah, you can give me a rating right now.
6.4.
6.4 says Andrew. Wow, have you investigated his team? 6.4.
Yeah, I've looked it out. I've crunched the numbers.
Let's see. I mean, looking at his team, I'm kind of inclined to agree. I don't really like anyone on his team. The biggest value is his Stephon Diggs keeper, Robbie Anderson.
That was an early Los Angeles defense pick.
Yeah, he picked the defense really early. Justin Herbert in the 7th is like, cool. Justin Herbert's good, but they have a new offensive coordinator that's really risky.
Hey, listen, sometimes
Marvin Jones is hurt. Naheem Hines is like maybe the 3rd string running back. Alexander Madison's a backup. Ty Johnson's a backup.
Yeah,
I don't see a lot of upside from his team.
Yeah, you can't make the players appear when you draft, and like that's who he got stuck with, and that's why I think.
I want to know what happened at the 8 pick. Let's look at this.
6 point.
What happened when he picked
Bender.
the Rams? Where was it?
Bender's what?
It was going out, right? So we.
No, that's damn.
So like he picked Los Angeles defense. He could have had Will Fuller. He could have had Laviska Shenault. Like Michael Pittman.
Oh God.
I would have preferred any of those guys to Los Angeles defense. He goes Los Angeles defense.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's very good.
I'm kind of inclined to
Yeah,
agree.
okay.
What did
Good number.
Oh, Yahoo scored me a C, by the way. Yahoo hates me. We didn't look at this.
You're big doo doo.
Yahoo hates it when you go late quarterback for some reason. But I don't know why I got a C. Plus or minus ADP. It's because I was reaching a lot, because you have to when you're on the corners.
2.7.
Average points by the league.
Wow, that's not right.
Whatever.
You're crazy.
I'm trying to figure out why this hates me so much. They just hate my Raheem Mostert pick, I guess. I don't know.
Starting line.
Yeah.
I think Bender's team is really weak in a depth. Like his depth is terrible.
Kyle feels the same way.
He like arguably doesn't have a starting wide receiver on his bench.
Dude, he is a great starting lineup. Terrible.
He has a great that's exactly how I feel. He has a fantastic starting lineup and a really bad bench.
God awful bench.
And like his starting lineup is only good if Miles Sanders pans out and Robbie Anderson
Yeah.
pans out. Like, there's a world where Sam Darnold is not the truth and is just bad, and it wasn't Adam Gase's fault, and all of a sudden, I'll lose money if that's the case. All of a sudden, this Robbie Anderson pick goes away, and he's like starting who? Marvin Jones? Because Terrace Marshall's also on the Carolina Panthers, and
Listen, it's not even. I'm not even worried. Sam Darnold is the truth.
Sam Darnold is the truth. What'd you say, Andrew? 6.4?
I'm gonna go 6.4. Kyle threw out a 7.7, but
That's crazy.
But not draft.
his team is a 7.
Yeah.
Starting lineups, actually. But I'll go that to a 7-3.
7-3. 7-3 from
7-3.
Kyle.
I'm gonna go
6-4 from the boy.
Man, 6-4. I'm right around there. I think I'm also just gonna lock in at 6-4. I don't wanna go lower than that, but I can't go much higher.
All right,
I'm
let's
at
put him at
7.
a.
You
Ooh,
7,
all right,
Jeremy?
Let's put him at a 6.6 and call it a day.
6.6, yeah. I think that's how math works. Should we do the math?
Wrap him up, pack him up. Let's go
What did Kyle
home.
say? 7.3?
7.3. I don't know what you heard.
6.7.
about.
All right. 6.8. Gets a bump. We're round up
Oh
here.
my!
We're using math.
This rounding up stuff.
We're using math at 6.775. What do you? I'm not going to 2 decimal places.
6.8.
Fifth
All
pick.
right.
We got Dan.
In the books. In the
4
man,
pick,
is he
not
still
5th
here?
pick. Gross. All right. Left with Derrick Henry. Yep. Allen Robinson. Yep. All right.
Solid.
Makes the Patrick Mahomes call. Who's in the range? We just gotta
I
look.
love it. He slam locked Patrick Mahomes without a
Yo,
second off
he
the
slam
clock.
locked Patrick Mahomes over like Gus, and like that's really the only other person I'd pick over Mahomes here personally.
Here's the thing. I might have taken like Chris Godwin over Mahomes. I love Chris Godwin.
You're a big Chris Godwin guy this season, huh? You're not
I
a Mike Evans guy. You're a
love
Chris
that.
Godwin's guy. It's so funny that
I'm
they
a
went
Chris
back to back.
I'm a Chris Godwin guy.
I don't have any problems with the Mahomes pick here. I mean, like he's gonna go in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
You put him on your team. Dan's got a David Montgomery running back keeper in the wings too, so he knows he's
Great.
got 2 solid running backs. He's got a great wide receiver 1. All he has to do is find
you-
one more. Picks
You gotta-
Patrick
you gotta wanna be
Mahomes,
honest.
and then I think perfectly on the way back, picks up that 3rd running back. I love this pick, Mike Davis pick from Dan.
Oh, I don't like Mike Davis.
Yeah, that's crazy
like
to
Mike
me that you don't
Davis.
like Mike Davis. Who are your running backs? Jonathan Taylor
Mine?
and else?
Aaron Jones, Jonathan Taylor, and I think that's it.
I think Mike Davis is going to touch the ball more than either one of those 2 guys this season. Is he a better player? No. But he'll have more touches, and he will be the volume king. And he's his running back 3, and that's all you need out of a running back 3. Volume is king. Wow,
TJ Hawkinson in the
he's a
7 is so
volume
good.
guy. Look at this. Dan's going to lead the league in carries. Derrick Henry, Mike Davis, and David Montgomery. He's going to lead the league in carries.
Yo, Captain Inefficiency.
And we already called out the TJ Hawkinson the 7th. What a
Too
steal.
good.
That the
No,
Tyler
I mean-
Higbee and the Tunyon went before him.
Listen, this again, maybe hot takey. I know everyone's been on TJ Hawkinson. I think TJ Hawkinson is gonna get injured in like week 3 and just never be a thing.
I mean, yeah, but you can't count on injury. And TJ Hawkinson is normally everybody's on TJ Hawkinson in like the 5th.
I
He
know.
got
I
him
think
in
it's
the
way too high.
He got him in the 7th
Insane.
in a keeper draft. This is like him drafting TJ Hawkinson in the 8th round. Like this is huge.
I
'Cause
think because nobody wanted him.
I would have took him.
I don't know. I mean, I do know who. We haven't gone over who the other people who took tight ends were in that range. One was Greg, and the other one was Travis. They both stared him down and took somebody else over him. It's a question of these guys play on better teams, and this guy is the only target on his team. That's what it comes down to. I think Hawkinson has a guaranteed volume that Tunyon and Higbee don't. And that's honestly that's all you need out of a tight end. I think he's definitely the best pick available there for him. I did not like the DJ Chark pick.
Terrible.
Wow. Honestly, his entire team from that point on, I kind of hate. I don't think I like a single pick after that. I think DJ Chark was a reach.
I like Mike Williams.
Mike Williams is like not healthy already, which is like
Classic Mike Williams.
yeah, like Mike Williams is already hurt. He's only like doing
Already in
individual
mid-season
drills.
form.
Yeah, already midseason form. Where is it? Right here.
Yeah, no. Listen, yo, Dan's gonna come in right around Bender with a 6 point something.
Really? I think it's better than that. I think the top of his draft is better than Bender's. I think if Dan, who had already had his starting lineup locked in, picks the Will Fuller here, this team could go nuclear. Because like we didn't talk about this T Higgins pick. This is a pretty good pick. It's kind of whatever.
Maybe.
It's the same as my Tyler Boyd pick. It's like, are they
Maybe
good?
terrible.
Could be terrible.
Could be terrible.
But I think
be
he was the
split
best
between
wide
three guys.
receiver available at that time. Oh wait, wow, whoa. We didn't talk about this. He goes T Higgins over Chase Claypool and Adam Thielen, and Jerry Jeudy. Hate that.
Yeah.
Hate
Yeah.
that. Wow, this is a terrible pick, Dan. This might be your worst pick.
Wow, 6.2?
No,
6.2 to me.
no. I still think the draft is better than Bender's. I don't understand. Yo, Dan's commitment to his like Carolina kickers is weird. This guy's never kicked a NFL field goal
like it.
before.
I like it. He's confident in his team. I respect that.
He's never kicked an NFL field goal before. This is nice. Miami defense week 1, rookie Mac Jones. That's nice. That feels good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
This guy could get cut after 2 weeks. Draft grade
6.3.
6.3. I'm gonna go 6.7.
I was like, I am so done, dude.
Kyle, we got 7 more of these. It's been a half an hour.
Yeah.
I'm like almost up though.
Yeah,
I'm
know,
at
you're
a
close.
7
You're like 2
because
out.
I like the top of the draft.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the top, but I don't like the bottom. All right, only 3 grades this time.
I'm gonna sleep so hard after.
Divide that shit by 3. Bam, that's a 6.7 for Dan. Wow, he does wind up lower than Bender.
What?
Yeah.
Bender had the Kyle hookup. Kyle gave Bender a 7.3, and that really pulled him up.
Kyle inflated his
All
numbers.
right, we got Dalvin and the Chipmunks. Change your name, Greg. Dalvinized Steel is here to stay. Zeke, yep. Keenan Allen, yep. Gus Edwards, yep.
Boss. Dang, yo.
Julio Jones, yep.
Greg's team's kind of nice.
Greg's team looks great until we get to this. This is the pick we got to investigate. What was going on around Chase Edmonds? What was going on?
Flex. That's a solid flex.
I don't hate Chase Edmonds. I just want to see what's going on around it. These are the options there? Man, I think I'm taking every one of these players over Chase Edmonds.
No, I'm taking Chase Edmonds 100%.
Really? Man, I am not a Chase Edmonds believer. I think people are underestimating how much of a 50-50 split that is going to be.
James Conner.
I think
Oh,
if last year was any indication of how much Arizona does not believe in Chase Edmonds, I don't think there's a bigger one. Like Kenyon Drake was one of the worst, the least efficient running backs in the league last year. He was terrible. And they kept giving him the ball because Chase Edmonds was worse.
All right, I have a rating for Greg. You want to hear it? Wait, go back to his team real quick.
We're staring at his team, aren't we? No. Okay. Let's look at Greg's team. What happened after that? We got Tyler Higbee. You loved the Antonio Brown pick. He's got the Brady
Love it.
keeper. Big Michael
Love it.
Pittman pick. Big Curtis Samuel
Love
pick.
it.
Big Russell
Love
Gage
it.
pick.
Love it. Love all
Kicker,
those
Chuba Edwards is good. Marlon Mack is whatever. Great handcuff.
picks. Great handcuff.
This is
You
one of
ready
the
for
best teams we've looked at so far.
8.5.
Wow. That's
Greg.
high.
8.5. Yeah.
That's high, but I don't even think I disagree by that much. It's just the Chase Edmonds pick that I take umbrage with.
I love all of it. 8.5.
But yeah, after looking at the team makeup, how many receivers he stacks late, and Chase Edmonds was best running back on the board at the point he took him.
Listen, Greg.
I love
let's
Greg
make it a
more than you.
playoff
I'm going to
pick.
go 8.6.
Wow. Okay, it's not about favorites. All right, just press. Listen, Greg's making a push for the championship.
Again,
He wants to go. He wants
Now-
to go back.
let's not understate. This is all predicated on Zeke is in the best shape of his life. Hard Knocks bump.
Oh, Hard Knocks bomb, dude. Zeke is gonna be the best running back in the league. Number one.
Yeah, if
Believe it.
Zeke
Believe it.
comes out like he came out last year, this team flops because he does not have the running back depth to carry him. He needs Zeke and Gus Edwards to both be hits, and I think they will be. If they're not, this team just falls apart. And it needs Julio
Yo,
Jones to be Julio Jones.
Julio Jones is gonna be good.
He needs to be
All aboard
healthy,
the
Julio
Gus
Jones.
bus.
Anybody
Tyler
else want to give a
Higbee's
rating or no?
Higbee's. Give me some more ratings, boys. Average me out.
I'm just looking for
I'm
the
at,
third one. Yeah,
At a 9.
a 9.
Ooh.
Yo, Jeremy's giving round numbers out here.
Clean. I like Young Ho
Of course you do.
and Chuba Hubbard.
Goodbye. All right, so we got 8.5.
This is gonna be the best
8.6,
rating
9.
by far.
Wait. All right.
8.7 for Greg.
Yeah. solid.
Crushing it, Greg. And that's basically without a keeper, because all his keeper is locking in Tom Brady in the 8th round, which is basically his value anyway.
Yeah.
The Cliff?
Strong.
Does the Cliff get him? Oh yeah. The only problem was the Tyler Higbee pick. You could argue that whatever the other running back, the Hawkinson would have been better, but
Oh yeah.
I don't have a problem with Higbee there.
I prefer Higbee over Hawkinson, to be honest.
Yeah, that's weird that
Man,
you do.
Hawkinson hater.
Yeah.
I am a Hawkins hater. I'm sorry.
Higbee is
Sorry,
still
sorry.
Higbee is still like the 4th or 5th receiving option on his own team, and that's a problem.
I believe in Stafford.
Yo, you know what
Yes,
no one's
he's
talking about, and I'm really comfortable saying this out loud. You know Deshaun
Okay.
Jackson plays for the Rams.
Wow. I don't know,
Deshaun
don't
Jackson
care.
plays for the Rams. He is gonna score 40 points week 1 and then get hurt, and
Yeah, sure.
nobody cares.
Yep. Agreed.
But yeah,
Ooh, it's time.
and Van Jefferson still plays for that team, and Darrell Henderson's gonna catch the ball out of the backfield. So
I love Van Jefferson.
So that's my problem with Tyler Higbee, but I think Tyler Higbee will be a really big red zone target. So that's why he'll be valuable. But I think TJ Hawkinson's going to catch like 70 passes this year. He's going to have a real like Darren Waller 2 years ago season.
Kyle's coming on to talk about his team.
All right, we're going to Kyle's team. That was an 8.7 for Greg. Kyle, number 6 overall. Nick Chubb over Aaron Jones. Wow, what a reach. How does this guy not go Aaron Jones here? Just kidding. Coin flip. We talked about a pre-draft. They're both great. Which one do you have a gut feeling about? I guess he had a gut feeling about Nick Chubb. Pick Nick Chubb. Kyle, very high on DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins, definitely the most talented wide receiver on the board when he picks him. I don't know how I feel about him personally. I have a weird feeling that the Cardinals are not going to be very good this year. And I think DeAndre's value is going to suffer. I think he's going to suffer to find the end zone like he did last season. But he's still great, and he's still better than Keenan Allen and Allen Robinson. That's fine. Josh Jacobs in the 3rd. I mean, we already talked about the fact that
Strong running back core.
yeah, there's no other good running back to pick there. He's the best running back available. It's that, or it's you reach on Myles Gaskin or Damian Harris.
Here's the thing, dude. All I'm gonna say is there's a reason he went like top 5 last year. Not that I like swear by him or believe in him a lot, but there's a reason he was like a top 5 pick last season.
Yeah, but part of that reason that he was a top 5 pick last year is that he didn't have a backup running back. It's like Jalen Richard. Like, who cares? Now, Kenyon Drake plays on that team. Kenyon Drake's going to get 100 carries. That's just what backup running backs are going to do. If Josh Jacobs continues to not find the end zone like he hasn't in his last 2 seasons, then you're in trouble. If he finds the end zone, just 2 or 3 more times, you'll be fine. And if he learns how to catch the ball in the backfield, because for some reason they just refuse to throw him the ball in the backfield, even though he's a stone hands running back. I think he's the best running back on the board there. Maybe you could argue that you want to go Gaskin or Damian Harris instead, but I think those would be reaches. It's a good pick. It's the obvious pick there, unless you're going to go wide receiver, but it's the obvious running back pick there. Who'd you go next? You have Darren Waller in the 4th round, good keeper. Kyler Murray in the 5th round. So this is where, personally, I think it goes sideways for you. I think since you already have a tight end, you've now handcuffed your running back wide receiver depth by going tight end and quarterback in the early rounds. I would have loved to have seen you have gone, instead of Kyler Murray, you go with like a Chase Claypool or an Adam Thielen. And now you just have this super solid 1-2 punch of DeAndre Chase or DeAndre Thielen, plus your 1-2 of Chubb, Jacobs, and your Waller upside. You have this like locked in position starting lineup. Now you do have this dirty Kyler Murray DeAndre stack, and that's always nice to have. But yeah, I just think you handcuff your own running back, wide receiver. Maybe not depth.
Could have locked up a fantastic starting 5.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I think Kyler Murray in the 5th value is great value. I think that's a great spot to pick Kyler Murray. I just think because you already possessed Darren Waller, I would have gone for the wide receiver there to really lock up the starters upside. Because I think what you did is you've got all these other you've got depth, but they're not going to fill in the way that, like, they don't have the upside that Chase Claypool has.
I need one of them to.
You need one of them to bang. Yeah, you need one of them to bang, and they might. Like the Kenny Galladay pick, that's one we'll talk about. Could have huge upside.
Ayuk might.
Brandon Ayuk. My problem with Brandon Ayuk is this stupid He's got a hamstring injury already. It's preseason. I am just afraid of it, and I think it's my own
Tom Brady
ownership.
played his whole career injured.
It's my own ownership of Deebo Samuel on the same team from last season. And obviously, no two injuries are the same, and they're not even the same player. But last season, I watched Deebo Samuel miss like 2 or 3 weeks with a hamstring injury, and all of a sudden it turned into like 7 weeks. And in those 7 weeks, Brandon Ayuk just ran away with the job. And so if that same thing happens where like you have a limited Brandon, it's not because the worst case scenario is he's playing through his hamstring, is limited, and they're just giving Deebo the high value touches instead of him.
Yeah,
Now,
but I got so many people, I would bench him. If
yeah,
that was
exactly. You'd bench him.
clearly
Now,
happening.
if he's healthy week 1 and he's healthy throughout the season, this is a fantastic pick, and he really rounds out your starting lineup. The Jamar Chase pick I absolutely hate. There has not been a single good report by any reporter about this player.
No.
He's
Well,
out of
that was-
shape.
That was the pick that I came
Oh, you
down
fat
with
fingered
20
this pick,
seconds
right?
left. I know, at 20 seconds, and
You tried to trade, it went wrong. It's a real
Yeah.
LaShawn McCoy debacle.
yeah, I mean,
It's a mechanical error on the draft board.
it is what it is. I
Player,
was upstairs
it's
making
a play.
drinks.
Yeah, it's a personal misplay. It is what it is. We don't like the pick. Let's see who we could have gotten instead.
Yeah, let's see who's up there.
You're not going to go Debo. It's probably Brandon Cooks or Corey Davis or Devonta Smith. It's one of these guys. Maybe it's Leonard Fournette if you want a running back depth piece. Maybe. But realistically,
Brandon Cooks maybe, but like, dude, who's throwing that man the ball?
Tyrod Taylor, brother. Tyrod Taylor. So it's one of these 3 guys. If one of these 3 guys was that Jamar Chase pick, I would actually like your team a lot. Because one of these 3 guys, I think, covers off that Brandon Ayuk, like, maybe first 2 weeks injury in a way that Jamar Chase won't. Because Jamar Chase is going to take time. He might be great back half of the season.
Smith, though,
But if you're like 2-6 and all of a sudden now Jamar Chase is elite, it's not going to turn your season around. All right, where do we go from there? Kenny Galladay. This Kenny Galladay slide was crazy. I'm not a Kenny Galladay guy, but the value you get on him in the 8th
the
round,
value is there.
just nobody was picking him, and you picked him, and shit, you're hoping he's healthy because he like just started practicing like 3 days ago. Let's hope he's in shape. Let's hope Danny Dime
If
throws
he
him the
just,
ball.
like, does his thing.
Yep.
The team's got, like,
Yep. There's nothing wrong with this pick. It was good value. Zach Moss. This whole backfield is gross. It's a value.
Yeah,
it's a depth running back.
maybe
Probably
he
the best
wins
running back on the board at that
somehow.
point.
Yeah. James White.
I honestly might have liked James White. Jeremy reached on Gio here, but I think I like Gio more. The problem with depth running backs is depth running backs are sometimes better. Wow, Travis, we already missed your team, but you can jump on it. Like the receiving option in the depth running back is really nice. Because
Yeah,
Zach
but
Moss
my
is
thing
going to
is
be,
just
does he
like-
get a goal line touchdown for you that week?
Or does he just win the job?
That's true.
I might
But
drop him in 2 weeks. I might drop him in 3 weeks.
I know I've been talking about preseason
know.
too much. I know I have, but there was the preseason game where like the Bills starters played the most. They literally didn't run the football in one of the games. Like they did not hand the ball off to Zach Moss or Devin Singletary, and they ran like 12 consecutive pass plays, and then the ones came off the field. Washington defense. Was this on purpose? You just like went over the defense here? Yeah, whatever. I mean,
I just didn't know who
one
I
of the best
wanted.
defenses in the league. No problem with it. You went early
Didn't
defense.
know who I
You know,
wanted.
we're
I
not
was
early
like,
defense
I play
guys.
The Giants and the Eagles twice a year.
We're not early defense guys. But yeah, you're gonna get the Eagles twice. You're gonna get the Giants twice.
Yeah.
Downside, you're gonna get the Cowboys twice. But
They're gonna get a lot of sacks. Yeah, the Cowboys
they're gonna get a
blow
lot of
one
sacks. They're
game
gonna be a
out.
great fantasy defense. There's nothing wrong with him here.
Yeah.
David Johnson is disgusting.
What?
This guy is like the third running back on his team. Mark Ingram didn't get
What?
cut, which is terrible. But like, who else are you picking in this range? What round is it? 11.
11th round running back.
Yeah, I went Tevin Coleman, who you probably would have picked.
No, 12th round running back. Sorry.
No, it's 11th round. David Johnson, it's right here.
Sorry,
I was just panning over him looking for other people.
Sony Michelle.
Yeah, you're looking Sony Michel or you're looking Handcuff. I actually probably like Sony Michel better because there's like if Darrell Henderson gets hurt, Sony Michel has gigantic upside. Like he's gonna be
Yeah.
a he's gonna be like a running. He's gonna be like the running back like 12 to 20. There's literally Philip Lindsay and Mark Ingram could both get hurt, and David Johnson's still like best case scenario the RB20.
No, not if they both get hurt, but I know what you're saying.
Like
It's
that
two of
offense
them.
is so bad that his upside is like so limited.
Yeah.
So there's that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that pick though. I just think Sony would have been better.
It was
Nelson
a gamble.
Aguilar is like hurt and
like
walked
that
off the
pick.
field and like hasn't practiced in a couple days.
I didn't know that, but I like that pick. I like Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, if he wasn't
13th
hurt
round.
and like doesn't look like he's gonna play that much, I'd like it a lot.
13th fucking round.
But like, yeah, there's a reason Jacoby Myers went in the 10th, and it's because he's looking like he's gonna be the number 1 wide receiver, and he's gonna be the number 2. Mac Jones was the truth. This is fine. That's how that's ultimately how that works. Who was in that range? Yeah, I mean nobody's even picking skill position. It's literally a waiver ad at this point. Instead, who cares? You didn't miss anybody by picking him, and if you really want somebody, you can go get him on waivers. Who else we got? We got Matt Ryan, backup quarterback. Sure. Already talked about it. Do your quarterbacks have different bye weeks? Did you confirm that?
Didn't even look.
Yeah, it's a problem if they have the same bye week. I think Matt Ryan's upside is limited with Calvin Ridley. He was really bad last season in the weeks that Julio Jones was hurt, even though Calvin Ridley was fantastic.
Yeah, whatever.
He's whatever. He's a backup quarterback. You'll probably drop him. Maybe you stream him 1 week.
Yeah,
Who cares?
yeah.
Carlos Hyde, Meke, whatever depth pieces. Overall, a pretty good team. The only thing that screams is the Jamar Chase pick. That was kind of a panic pick, but gotta hold it against you because it was your fault. Just because you picked a bad player, but even though you did it because you were like upstairs, like taking a piss or something, or making food, whatever you're doing.
My number?
Overall, your number? Yeah, you gotta go first. That's right.
I'd give myself like an 8.5.
Wow. I do not have you that high. I have you
at a 7.
I have you high, but not that high. I'm gonna say I like your draft. Man, the Kyler Murray pick is just. I think you're right around where we had me and Travis. I think you're right around that 7-8 range. I just think you're missing. Cause like, let's look at your starting lineup here.
No, that is.
Like, yeah, you're missing this flex player. Like, who is this player? It's probably Kenny Golladay.
I'll get him in the year or Kenny Golladay. Like, I'm gonna find him throughout the season.
Yeah, but that's a different valuation than your draft night grade. Like, you had 15.
It's gonna be Kenny Golladay.
That's just it. You had 15 chances to draft this player, and you didn't draft him.
15. No, I didn't. I fill out the rest of my stand.
Cause like, Kyle, we already did the exercise, but now let's do it one step further. What round was it?
In my ear, he says it. Like
So like, Kyle, let's say you went Chase Claypool, and you have the same starting lineup with Chase Claypool and Matt Ryan's your starting quarterback. I like that team better. Like, it's already a quarterback you have on your roster. It's a 1-for-1 swap. I like that team better. So I went 7-8. Jeremy went 7.
No, I like Kyler Murray better. I like that Kyler. Now, if you say that Jamar Chase pick for somebody else for like.
I just think the Kyler Murray pick was a bad pick based on your current team structure, and it's hindering your starting lineup for now. You're gonna find it. You're gonna make the ad, but in terms of like just day one draft, it's hindering your value for now.
Okay.
Andrew, what's your grade?
This guy thinks I won't fucking smack.
I can't hear him.
7.4.
7.4. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You didn't get your 0.4. This is 30.7. Wait, fuck. 30.7 divided by 4. 7.7 for Kyle. Gets the round up.
I love that.
Big rounds up. Yo, we are 50 minutes in.
How shitty was
I'm
mine?
about to tap out.
Dan,
like
you
5.
received a 6.7.
Because receivers suck.
We loved your start and hated your finish, more or less. Let's
You guys
head.
sound like Yahoo.
We're posting it to Yahoo, or not Yahoo, YouTube. It'll be up. All right, let's look at Andrew Waters, who I think personally had one of the best drafts in the middle of the draft. I thought he had one of the best drafts.
See that?
Aaron Jones. Yep, he was the last running back left. Calvin Ridley, yup, best running back on the board at that time. Keeper, DJ Moore, who I think was the best wide receiver around in that range. Travis. I'm about to go. Yeah, we already did you, Travis. You got a 7.7 or 7.8.
And Water
7.8.
stole him from me a pick before I was gonna.
Dan,
pick
if you were here, you would have known that I said it out
Oh,
loud.
man.
I went.
I was
I
literally
think we
gonna
all
pick
know.
him.
We all know who Dan's gonna pick, don't we? Where did you
Obvious.
pick him?
Realtors.
DJ Moore.
Although I think
Yep.
Terrence Marshall is gonna be the best wide receiver on the Panthers this year.
Yeah, that's a weird take, but you might be right. In terms of value,
I'm a
you might
Panthers
be
fan,
right.
so I think I have some kind of semblance.
That's
of
fair.
judgment on that.
Flipping out about
That's
it.
fair. I've been a Sam Darnold viewer for like 3 years though, so we'll see.
He didn't look comfortable, but I think he trusts Terrence Marshall with it more than
You
anybody on
go-
that offense.
DJ Moore. It's weird to say that he trusts a guy that he's never played with over a guy he played with for 2 years in Rob
Well,
Anderson.
I've watched him for 3 games and I watched all his practices. So
Yeah, but I watched him play games with Robbie Anderson for a full season. It's
Completely
just
fine.
weird to
He
say.
targeted Robbie Anderson 4 times
Wait,
out of
quick question. Quick
the
question.
60
I'm not
plays
talking about the
rushed.
Panthers.
Quick question.
For
Is
half an
Dan the guy that loved the Panthers defender, Jeremy Chin
Yes.
or something?
I'm a Panthers fan, if that helps
Yes.
you.
All right. Andrew picks DJ Moore over Julio Jones and Mike Davis. Obviously, he already has 2 running backs. Probably not going to pick Mike Davis. Deontay Johnson, totally understandable. I think DJ Moore is the best out of those 3. Maybe you could argue it's Julio if you're a Julio believer.
I would have said Julio.
You would have taken Julio. Yeah, that's reasonable. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Julio pick there instead.
Dan would have took DJ Moore.
Yeah, I think I also would have taken DJ Moore, so that's fine. Who does he go after DJ Moore? He goes Chase Claypool. I've been every time we've looked at the 5th round, I said, man, it's weird that you didn't take Chase Claypool. So obviously, I like the Chase Claypool pick in the 5th round. I
Yes,
actually think
why not?
Adam Thielen would have been a better pick though. I think Adam Thielen's the best pick in this round, maybe. I think with Irv Smith Jr. being hurt, the tight end, Adam Thielen's gonna get a lot more goal line looks because we already know he's the red zone receiver. I don't think he's done yet.
Problem is he had 13 touchdowns last year, so I doubt
Yeah.
he's gonna match that again.
But like, why not?
Because
Like-
they have Dalvin Cook.
But
and I
they
don't
had
think they're
Dalvin
gonna be a
Cook last
high-scoring
year.
Offense. I don't
Hey,
think they're
they
gonna
got
be a
some
high-scoring
good
offense. this year.
Got it. You
Their
just think
line
they're
got
gonna
worse.
do
Hey,
less
what's up, guys?
good.
Their line got
What's up,
worse,
bro?
and they lost a couple targets. I mean, they have Justin Jefferson and Thielen. That's about it.
Goddamn. Bro.
Didn't they draft it? They drafted a 1st round guard.
Wait, Tyler, week 1?
I think they went defense round
Week
1.
from tonight.
No, they traded back and drafted a guard. They got the Darashaw slide, didn't they? Vikings
I don't know
Bill
that actually.
draft 2020.
How bad did y'all crap on my team?
I think you have the best rating so far.
Hold on, actually?
Yep, you got an 8.7. We think you have the best team so far.
That's not gonna pan out.
Waiting for this to load. Jesus Christ. The Minnesota Vikings dropped Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle, 23rd overall. This guy was projected to go like 15th. Huge slide on a tackle, and they got him at big value. Great pick. All right. Andrew goes. Where are we? Andrew goes Chase Claypool. I would have preferred Adam Thielen,
Still
but there's no problem with Chase
evaluating
Claypool.
Andrew.
Then he goes Dak Prescott. Then he goes Debo. Honestly, I love everything about this. I hate the AJ Dillon pick. I'm not an AJ Dillon guy. He is the Aaron Jones owner, so I guess it's kind of a handcuff. That's nice. But you're never
Yeah,
going to
that's a
start
good
them in the
handcuff,
same
like-
week.
That's a fair handcuff. Yeah, handcuff's not.
But like, so my thing about handcuffs is like, why pick AJ Dillon in the 8th round when you can pick Tony Pollard in the 9th round or like the 10th round? Like they present the same value. The percentage chance that like Aaron Jones or Zeke gets injured is like the same.
Actually, speaking of that, yo, Travis, we gonna have to talk, dog.
Like, why not pick
Like,
the handcuffs
that's
you can
real
pick in
stuff.
later rounds and just hope someone else's player gets hurt instead of your own player getting hurt? That's my personal take on handcuffs. Is I'd rather have someone else's handcuff, and then my team goes from really good because my player didn't get hurt to great. AKA picking Mike Davis after Christian McCaffrey gets hurt and already having Alvin Kamara on your roster and taking it to a chip.
Wait, who did you say about Christian McCaffrey getting hurt?
Christian McCaffrey getting hurt, Mike Davis. Talking about last season.
Okay. I was about to say Chuba.
Yeah, we already talked about that. Chuba. James White,
Wait. My rating for Andrews is fucking
We didn't finish Andrew yet.
7.3.
7.3. Wow.
Damn the disrespect.
Honestly, let's see. Who did you pick instead? Or AJ Dillon was your 8th round. I just want to see who's around the range of AJ Dillon. Nobody's gonna watch this whole video. Why would they? Yeah, there's no running back anywhere near it that you could take. Maybe Michael Carter. That guy's a 3rd string running back. Don't know why you'd ever take him. You pick James
You guys
White.
have a conversation about how fucked up Yahoo's responses to these drafts are?
We're just ignoring them completely because that's how bad they are. Noah Fant. That guy's hurt. So you might not have a week 1 tight end. You're gonna have to drop somebody.
He's fine. I read
I believe.
the
I
word.
believe.
I love these 2 picks. Also, James, I really wanted Elijah Moore tonight. Jameson Crowder got hurt. So Elijah Moore bumped. Elijah Moore bumped. Jameson Crowder like tweaked his leg.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. The problem is I didn't want to reach for him in the 11th. Who did I pick in the 11th?
Did Elijah Moore
I picked
grad
Tevin
too
Coleman
yet?
instead because I wanted the running back piece. Elijah Moore is so fast. He's so good. He's going to be really good. I don't think he's going to be really good this season though. I think he's a next season breakout candidate.
Yo, easy.
Well, so it's Corey
right?
Davis and
Alright,
Jamison
alright.
Crowder and who's the third?
No, it's actually
Elijah
Corey
Moore.
Davis, Keelan Cole, Denzel Mims, and Elijah Moore. The thing is Elijah Moore, based on all projections, is going to play the Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk role in our Mike LaFleur from the 49ers style offense. That's what everyone's thinking. He's going to get all the gimmicks. He's going to get all the like wide open looks in open space that the Niners create for Ayuk. That's why people are drafting Elijah Moore. Denver plays the Giants week 1. Harrison Butker, Cole Beasley, whatever. You're never going to play him. And at this rate, the karma train is coming. He's going to get COVID.
I really wish I played Anthony week 1 in either league because I'm playing Carolina defense
I think
week
I just
1.
have to stop.
Yeah, that's
doing
crazy,
that.
Dan.
They didn't. No one scored a single point against our first team defense in all of
Cool.
preseason.
In all half quarters that you played against them. On to the next team.
Doesn't matter. There's
You guys
7,
remember how fast this
3
was
and
going
out?
before Dan got here?
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave then because fuck you guys.
Bye.
Alright.
Craig's team. The problem is Dan wasn't here muted for like 5 rounds, so he didn't realize
Wait,
how not
what did
an
I-
open format this was. Oh, we didn't do your
what did I-
grade. We didn't do your
What did I get, by the way,
grade.
guys?
What did you say about yourself?
I didn't give myself a grade.
Well, you have to do it first. That's how it works.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with 7.9.
7.9. A humble Andrew. I'm giving
Kyle-
Andrew. I think.
Kyle's spite gave me a 7.3.
Yeah, that's weird. We'll bump that because we know it was spite.
He's walking up the stairs just screaming, honest review.
I think your starting lineup, Dak Prescott was sketchy. I don't believe, but
I like Dak at 6.
I will
he's good.
fist fight you
He's
for
good
Dak
value.
Prescott.
Yeah. Your starting lineup might be the best in the league. The Jonathan Taylor Colts thing might be kind of scary, but in the 3rd round, who cares? Personally, especially with these depth pieces you picked up in James White, Henry Ruggs, and Elijah Moore, the only weakness on your roster is tight end, and
It's not even that much of a.
it's not even that big of a weakness, assuming that Teddy Bridgewater can just give him the ball in open space and that he can stay healthy. If he can't stay healthy, you're running the tight end waiver wire all week. Have fun with Cole Kmet. But personally, I think this is the best draft. I'm giving you an 8.9.
He's not done yet. He's still calculating.
I'm giving you an 8.9. Anybody else in on Andrew's grade?
I'm at 9.
You're at 9, yeah. All right, that's the 4 divided by 4. Yeah, this guy gets an 8.3.
8.3.
If it weren't for you, first
Yeah.
got to get rounded down, dork. If you
Wow,
you
Kyle's
skimped
upset.
yourself. You skimped yourself.
Dude, Kyle's almost crying, dude. He's so mad.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
He's like choking back. Like he's like,
Yo,
I can't-
imagine
I
if
can't show
Kyle just like
emotion.
if Kyle didn't like sabotage you, this would have been a great grade.
I know, dude.
um,
Kyle really tanked my score.
I mean, you tanked your own score too. Like if you just give yourself an 8.5, you'd have been great. I even gave you a 7.5 back for Kyle. I didn't give you a 7.3. I bumped you a couple points because you know spite. All right, on to Craig.
You want to hit some cardio? Yeah, jump on the bike, brother.
All right,
Yeah, dude.
Craig goes
Settle
Devontae
it out.
Adams because why not? All the running backs are gone. Craig has to make the first real decision of do I reach on Saquon or Najee or do I go wide receiver? Devontae Adams is an absolute beast. Not going to hold it against him for going Devontae Adams at 8. The Chris Carson reach is interesting, but it's not really a reach based on who's available. Clyde went a pick before him. Joe Mixon's already gone. If you want a running back here, you literally have to go all the way to Darrell Henderson. I think there's a pretty clear tier break between Chris Carson and Darrell Henderson. I think it's a good pick for Craig, especially
I
because
actually think Chris Carson's better than those two running backs.
well, the other
to be
thing too is
honest.
he has Devontae, so he either has to go no RB or go for this reach. I think this was fully necessary from Craig for his team structure.
Yeah, I think it's a good move.
So it's a good pick. He then goes Mike Evans over Chris Godwin. They went back to back. He makes the call to go Mike Evans over Chris Godwin over Amari.
Better hope he gets some touchdowns.
I believe that Chris Carson will lead that team in touchdowns. That's my personal belief. So I like this pick. So he'll receive a bump from me. I really like this pick. I think Chris Godwin probably leads the team in targets. I think Mike Evans probably leads the team in touchdowns. Craig's going to go big. He's got Devontae Adams. He's got Mike Evans. He's going to try to find the end zone on a week-to-week basis. I love the Damian Harris pick. It is all the consistency that his lineup was lacking and provides. And in akin to that, right afterwards, I've been talking about this Adam Thielen pick for the last hour. These two picks, I think, round out this boomer bust top three so perfectly. I think you can lock these two guys in for double digits every week, and you're going to be in great shape. 6th round gives himself the Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers stack. Good luck to whoever plays Craig in the weeks where Devontae Adams scores multiple touchdowns. You're going to be in bad shape. Then goes Logan Thomas in the 7th. I think that's after the Hawk strap goes. Yes.
And did we already get past Craig?
Yeah, we're flying through Craig.
Oh, how we do Craig?
Craig, so far we're doing great. We've had nothing bad to say about Craig. He goes Devontae,
Craig looks
goes
pretty
Chris
good,
Carson, which is a reach, but he already went wide receiver. He has to go running back here personally. Chris Carson
Yep.
was the only running back that was picked after that huge wide receiver run, and then it was
Yeah,
Darrell
I like
Henderson.
it.
This is great. Mike Evans, we said he's going to score the most touchdowns. I said he's going to score the most touchdowns on the team. Chris Godwin probably leads the team in targets. Mike Evans in touchdowns. And then I love these two picks. They are all the floor that these three players are missing. Obviously, Devontae Adams is a huge floor, but these guys
Damian
are
Harris
his
is gonna
pop.
pop off, like-
These guys are his pop, and these guys are his like.
Crackle?
Give me 10 to 15, lock him in my lineup every week. They're going to do their job. He gets the stack with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Logan
I love
Thomas is a great pick here. I think he's the best, like, not great tight end left on the board. I love Jamal Williams. I've loved him all off season because DeAndre Swift is not healthy. We do not know what's going on with that ankle. Will he play week 1? Will he not? Let's see if that injury lingers. He has the RB1 on a bad team. At least he's a depth piece. He doesn't have to start him. He could if he wants. Actually, as of right now, I think he's in his starting lineup. No, he'll probably start Jacoby Myers. I don't love the Jarvis Landry pick. I think that's whatever. The value is fine. There's no flair there. Loved the Jacoby Myers pick. No New England Patriots are getting past Craig. Love the Shoney Michelle pick. That's a great depth piece. Again, see, like, this is the type of handcuff I like. Is like he's not on my team, and if what's his face gets hurt, Darrell Henderson gets hurt, Sony Michel is huge upside. Like he's gonna be a top 20 running back every week if that guy gets hurt. And who knows if he is just a goal line back and finishes the season on like 130 carries, which is very possible. He could easily be viable in a flex position week to week. Tampa Bay, great defense. I don't know who their matchup is week 1. Dallas.
This is also assuming that he doesn't get hurt. But
That's well, yeah. We're under the assumption that no one gets hurt on draft night because you can't predict injuries unless
even
they're
Michel's
already.
kinda
Unless you, I
injury-prone.
haven't knocked anyone for picking an injury-prone player unless they're already hurt.
Okay.
Malcolm Brown, I think is another good depth piece. I think people are sleeping on his potential role in Miami. Whatever, it's a late round. Robbie Gould, kicker. Jalen Rager, that's a great 15th round pick. He's got upside. Jalen Hurts got to throw the ball to somebody. It's going to be Devonta Smith, but it could be him next. Overall, I really like Craig's team. I think this is a classic.
solid.
Craig drafted a great team. And if he just follows through on the wire week to week,
It's got to stay
this
active.
team could make a run. That's always Craig's kryptonite is he doesn't stay as active as he needs to. And I think he knows that. And I think this team is the team that could finally take him to that next level. If Aaron Rodgers puts up another MVP performance, this combo is going to carry. Overall, for me, this is not as good as Andrew's team. Personally, I can't remember what I rated. I do remember what I rated Greg's team. I think it's a little better than Greg's team for me. I am gonna go 8.7 for Craig.
I mean, I think it's better than my team. He has some really good picks.
Also, by the way, this is on no keeper.
No keeper.
He
I'm
doesn't
gonna
get a
go-
keeper, and he comes out with one of the best teams.
I'm gonna go based off of his name, Southern 8. I'm gonna go a solid 8.
All right, 8.7, 8. I need a third score. Somebody.
8.9.
8.9. Jeremy loves the team. This is a big score. 8.5. Craig does get rounded down, but that is the number 2 team on the board right now. I'm in my own.
No keeper is impressive.
No keeper,
No keeper
is so
is impressive.
For those wondering, keeping along at home, these are the grades as they stand. Take a little
I'd love
check
to
in.
see that.
We've got Travis at a
Check in.
7.8, Anthony at 7.7, Bender at a 6.8, Dan at a 6.7. So far, the lowest grade. Greg at an 8.7, Kyle at 7.7, Andrew at an 8.3, and Craig at an 8.5. So far, Greg is still in the lead. It's weird that the 2 non-keeper teams are more or less leading the way. Craig is almost non-keeper. He just picked.
Yeah, does
Yes.
Tom Brady
picked-
really count as a keeper? Like,
No, not really.
I would-
We
I
did
would've
mention
picked him
that
up
during your
anyway.
segment. All right, let's keep this moving. Let's try to get this under an hour and a half, maybe. We've got David.
On the tracks.
David goes Tyreek into a Clyde. I did not notice until right now that he has both of them.
I
That's
didn't know that
nasty.
either.
I knew that he reached on Clyde, but I never mentally put together that he was the Tyreek owner. I hate this pick.
Yeah,
Same. I'm not a
when
fan.
he picked Clyde, both Kyle and I were like high-fiving. We were so happy.
Because Ridley falls to you because of it.
Yep.
Yeah. But the problem is David is forced to go he's almost forced to go running back here. And what else are you gonna do? I think it's too big of a reach to go Chris Carson over
Dude,
Clyde.
This is the perfect example.
David
of zero
had
RB.
to go no RB here.
That's right. He had
And
to
I
go zero.
think-
He had Josh Allen
Wait,
the
hold
keeper.
on.
This was a
Let
perfect
wait,
zero RB.
hold on. Can we still look at last season? Because I think this
No.
is where yes, we can.
I think maybe you can.
Yeah, we can. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. I'm looking. Where's David? I did not have David keeping Josh Allen. I had him keeping. Who did I have him keeping?
Ridley.
Dude, if David keeps Raheem Mostert in the 16th round,
I think Raheem Mostert was a keeper from before.
Yeah,
probably
he
if
was.
he was in that round. Now that you say that.
Yeah.
Man, I guess I did have him keeping Josh Allen then. All right, no problem there. He really did
No,
not
this-
have the RB
Yeah,
to keep.
David could have ran a beautiful zero RB team.
Yeah,
why didn't
I
just
think
keep
he had
Calvin
to.
Ridley with the third. Like,
I mean, he's for a second though. Didn't he draft him in the? Oh yeah,
Third.
Calvin Ridley for third. Wow. I don't know.
Yeah, I would've
he got
taken that.
he got Josh Allen for an 8th, who is going in like the 4th-ish round. So
Yeah,
like, he
Josh
got good
Allen-
value on his
that's good
keeper.
value.
I was looking for a running back that doesn't exist. He could have gone to RB. This is a reach. This could be a problem. I mean, realistically, Kansas City is never going to get like shut out. They probably will once this season, but like it's almost never going to be a problem. He just needs to be Clyde. He needs Clyde to be healthy, and like Clyde could easily return on this value. I wouldn't be that
Right.
worried about it.
Yeah,
He was the best
yeah.
running back on the board, and David did not want to risk the gambit of no RB. These are some great follow-up picks here, though. I love Chris Godwin here. It's a big slide. I like him just as much as I like
Love
the Mike
Chris
Evans
Godwin.
pick. Mike Evans is gone. Decisions made for you. Take the other guy. Cooper Kupp. Love me some Cooper Kupp this season. Positive touchdown regression. There's no way this guy scores 3 touchdowns again after having like 14 2 years ago. Is he going to have 14? Probably not. But if he just has the similar stat line last season with his like 90-ish catches, 1,000, 1,100 yards, and like 8, 9 touchdowns, this is going to be big value in the 4th round for him. I am a Kareem Hunt hater. I don't like Kareem Hunt. I don't like
David's
what he
pairing
provides.
his running backs with his wide receivers.
Yeah, David's a big fan of that. I personally like. He could have picked Trey Sermon here instead of Kareem Hunt. That's a way better pick in my book. Like Trey Sermon, I guess they present a similar upside to each other. It's if their duo running back partner gets injured, they become elite. It's very similar in that way. I just think that Trey Sermon is going to be more startable on a week-to-week basis when Raheem Mostert is healthy. I think because Kareem Hunt runs like an 80-20 split and gets the catches. I think Trey Sermon's going to run more like a 60-40 maybe 55-45 split with Raheem Mostert. I don't hate this pick, but I would have preferred Trey Sermon. If you guys disagree, that's totally your prerogative. I won't argue with that. Where's he go next? Goes OBJ. The slide was real. He already has 3 wide receivers here. Is there any running back on the board worth taking when he takes OBJ? God, not really. Yeah, all the running backs are gone at this point. He could reach on Ronald Jones. OBJ presents the upside of a wide receiver 1. He always does. Will he ever return to form? Who knows? Leonard Fournette, that's fine. That's a fine depth running back piece. I don't think a single... Wait, hold on. Was a single running back picked in between those picks? This doesn't count. This is a keeper. Ronald Jones is the only other one? Yeah, David literally gets away with probably in the 6th round. He's staring at his draft board going, man, should I pick Leonard Fournette here? Doesn't. Picks OBJ and then gets Leonard Fournette the round later.
Love the OBJ pick.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I don't have any problem with this. Josh Allen's the keeper. Mike Gesicki was probably the only talented tight end left at this point. Take him. Philip Lindsay's a great RB depth piece. He is technically the RB1 on that depth chart. He's also probably the most explosive running back on that depth chart ever since David Johnson's injury. This was weird, but we kind of liked it in retrospect. The Pittsburgh New England stack. I'm assuming that he's going to start New England week 1 against Miami, drop them for the rest of the league, and then run the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, which should be pretty elite out there because they're playing the Bills week 1. He doesn't want to start Pittsburgh against his quarterback, Josh Allen. Devontae Parker is interesting. Who knows what's going to go on with that wide receiver room?
He's so injured, bro.
It's a 12th round pick. I don't love it, but like who's going in that 12th round? It's all Flyers here. Maybe he goes Elijah Moore. Maybe he goes Tyrell Williams. Picks up a handcuff like Tony Pollard or something like that. Those are all fine, but I don't love Devontae Parker. I think he's the wide receiver 3 on that team. Already said I like New England. Hunter Henry in the 14th. That's just a stash, and you're hoping that Mac Jones likes Hunter Henry more than Jonnu Smith. And kicker. Overall, I think his team is pretty good with what he was offered. I really would have loved to have seen him go no RB. He didn't. That's fine.
Oh, I know. I do too.
But imagine like a Tyreek Hill, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin team.
Love it.
And then he just runs Kareem Hunt and Leonard Fournette out there every week and just hopes that they score anything. That could be really, really interesting. Could be really cool. He didn't go that way. I don't have a problem with him going that way. I think this team is good, but not great. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
I am going to come in. I mean, listen. I mean, I love David. You know, David and Travis are like my top 2 of like can do no wrong in my eyes. I'm gonna give David a strong and silent 7.1.
7.1. Cool. Did you debump yourself because it's David or no?
I was gonna go lower if it wasn't David.
All right, cool. We're gonna give David a 6.9.
I'm at 6.7 because he did too many RB wide receiver stacks.
That is true. Wow, Jeremy. Now you say that out loud. I already forgot. I'm going down 1. I'm going down to 6. I'm going down to 7.4. I already forgot that Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Tyreek Hill are both on his roster. Wow, no math on this one. That's a clean 7 for David. Nathan. Wow, Nathan and Jeremy have been hanging out here the whole time, just going, man, we're at the end of the draft. We gotta stay so long. All right, Nathan. Let's look at your team. Nathan makes the call to go Saquon Barkley.
Dude, here's what before we even get into it, I don't know about you, Anthony, but every time Nathan picked, in my mind I went, God damn it, Nathan, I wanted that guy. And like it happened every single round.
That was Greg for me, but he was so much more in your range than my range that every time you guys were picking out here, it was like I knew that players were never getting back.
Yo,
like
I'm I'm a big fan of Nathan's team.
I'm looking at it briefly, and I'm thinking I'm also a big fan. Let's check this out.
Nice.
Now, the only decision Nathan really made here is, do I want to be the Saquon Barkley owner or the Najee Harris owner? And
that's a tough call.
Man, we know what Saquon could be. He was that. He's that RB2, literally one of the best running backs in the league. Can he get back to that form? How healthy is he? How many games is he going to start? There's a reason he fell all the way to 10. I think that's baked into his ADP. I have absolutely no problem with you taking Saquon Barkley here. If he was even remotely healthy or remotely healthier based on predictions, he would be up in that Aaron Jones, Nick Chubb range, I think for sure. and you're getting him you're getting a discount on him of like 5 picks to maybe miss 1 week. Like if he comes in week 2 and he's the Saquon Barkley of old, you got to steal the draft. The fact that Austin Eckler gets back to you is ludicrous to me.
Jealous.
The fact, and this is baked into Jeremy's Travis Kelce pick. I don't hate that you did it at all, but man, I would not have had the balls to pass on Austin Eckler there.
Yeah,
So
I
much
am an Austin
upside.
Eckler truther. I actually had Austin Eckler. I'll show you guys the RB rankings here. Look at where Austin Eckler is on my board. I'm taking him before Jonathan Taylor. I have him so high this season. I love me some Austin Eckler. I think he's gonna get so much work. The volume is so there, and as long as he's not hurt, you're golden. The Amari Cooper pick was fantastic. He's the best RB. He's the best wide receiver left at that position after I think literally the Tampa Bay Bros go right before you. Yep, and you just slam lock that guy in. Maybe the only considerations here for me are not going receiver and just going heavy RB stack, which I love a triple RB stack. Nobody went triple RB stack, by the way. Crazy. Because I think the ranges were so weird. Like the tier breaks were always there at the turns that nobody could make two of them work.
Dude. It messed
Yeah, it was
everything
the
up.
keepers. Like me, because me and Travis at our turn, and then you and Jeremy and Evan at yours. Because those are really the only people who can kind of go through RB, or the people at turns. And like the value was never there. Maybe you could have reached on Gaskin. Maybe you could have reached on Harris. If you did, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But I love the Amari Cooper pick. Like if Amari Cooper's just the wide receiver 1 for Dallas, your team is so stacked at this point. And he very well could be. I hope he's not because I'm the CD owner. DK's your keeper. Great value. Personally, I would have went CD if I were you. But you went DK, and I have no problem with that. Only because you had CD in
I'm
like
ready
the
for the number.
you had
I'm ready for
CD.
the
You had
number.
CD in like the 8th round. Yeah, only for the 8th round. I like DK better than CD, obviously, season long. The Trey Sermon pick is the perfect RB3 flex running back, especially to me when complemented by this piece. The fact that like the first week of the season, you get to roll Brandon Cooks out with these guys, and then
Dude,
like
I'm
week
so
3,
confused why
week
Brandon Cooks got to me.
week 3, week 4 because I picked Tyler Boyd. Week 3, week 4, Raheem Mostert maybe goes down. Hope not. Your team is really predicated on my team getting hurt. I'm realizing that's not cool. Raheem Mostert goes down.
Sorry, man.
Maybe not. Hope not. And all of a sudden, you have 3 slam lock top 12 RBs. This team could be fire. He gets the Russell Wilson DK stack, which was literally league winning the first like 5
Pretty
weeks of the season
sure
last week.
I've done that almost 3 years in a row now.
Yeah, it's crazy. You've also had Austin Eckler on your team for like 3 years in a row. Crazy. You've been the
Yeah.
Austin Eckler owner for literally 3 years.
Yep.
Maybe this year he'll play football for you.
I hope so.
The Brandon Cooks pick, I love. The Juju value is great. The Goddard pick is, man, did you get Goddard before or after Gesicki? That's my only question.
It was after. I would have.
It was one pick after he gets robbed. You pick him instead of Noah Fant. I don't really have a problem with that, but I don't love it. But like, what kind of value are getting at tight end at this point? They're all pretty shit. So I think you're good. You also picked Jonnu. Oh, this is the fat finger pick, right? You got auto picked Jonnu.
I was gonna pick Sony Michelle, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. No points for almost picking Sony Michelle though. You picked Jonnu Smith. We're gonna have to hold that against you. You have 2 tight ends. So, I held it against Kyle for like panic picking whoever that wide receiver was.
It
If you're,
wasn't even a fat finger. I just.
I
Like,
know, yo, if your
don't think it went
mechanical
through.
ability to lock in your pick on time is subpar, I gotta hold it against you in your draft grade. San Francisco defense. Hopefully they return to form. They're pretty bad last year, but they were ravaged by injury. So if they return to form,
Also playing the Lions first week.
the only problem. Oh, they have the Lions the first week. That's a fantastic
Yeah.
pick. I didn't know that. It's a great pick. The only problem with them is the division they play in. So like they're unstartable against the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Cardinals. That's the problem with the Niners D is they play in such good defense. But again, you're picking them for the Cardinals. That's a great pick. This Sterling Shepard pick, love this Sterling Shepard pick. If Kenny Golladay doesn't pan out, this is the wide receiver 1 on the Giants, Sterling Shepard. And by all accounts, this is the wide receiver 1 on the Giants. He handcuffs Chris Carson with Rashad Penny. Loves Seattle. Have I ever told you how much Nathan loves Seattle? Kenneth Gainwell. I really like the Kenneth Gainwell pick too. I think that Boston Scott is going to be irrelevant on this offense. And honestly, if Miles Sanders looks like he looked last year, there's a chance that Kenneth Gainwell just like steals some very legitimate first down, second down carries for Miles Sanders. Overall, this is one of my favorite teams, top to bottom. If it wasn't for this Jonnu pick, man, who could you have picked in the 10th round? You're just gonna pick Sony Michel. So let's see. He has Sony Michel. He gets more running back depth. Yeah, wow. Who is your RB? Oh, wow, Rashad Penny's your RB4. Oh, and Kenneth Gainwell. You are thin at starting running back because of. I mean, even if you have Sony Michel, you'd still be thin at starting running back until Trey Sermon turns online, which we don't know how long it would be. Could be week 1. This is a great team. I think you have huge boom potential. You kind of have big bust potential though. But overall, I really love your team. I'm gonna go. Man, who do I like it? Let's look at these teams. Do I like it? I gave Andrew an 8.9. That was my favorite team so far. I'm gonna go 8.4 for Nathan.
Wow, that's weak.
Oh
sauce.
fuck, Nathan, rate yourself.
Oh, I don't know.
Nathan hasn't been rating anything all night, so I guess we could do it without him rating himself. It's been like me, you, Jeremy, and Kyle.
Listen, here
I'll
it
say
is.
8.4.
Here it is.
What do you got?
Definitive answer. 8.8.
Oh, 8.8. Okay. I need a third grade from Jeremy or Greg or Kyle.
I was also at 8.8 because Nathan took
8.8.
so many people that I wanted right before me.
Yo, is that Nathan gets a good grade because he just kept sniping you two? Wow. Nathan gets the 8.7, the homie bump roundup, ties Greg. Greg also got a homie bump roundup. You were literally like the exact same grade of 8.666666666. Ooh,
Oh, really?
emergency alert.
Nice.
Another tornado? No, flash flood warning. Okay.
Mother
I'll
Nature
take the homie
calls.
All right, we got Jeremy and then we got Evan.
The germ.
Let's look
All
at
right,
the
can I
germ.
just rate
Why
this
did
now
I
as a 2?
freaking pick
Like,
Kelsey? Fucking bitch.
Alrighty. So Jeremy goes Najee Harris. Fine. That's a great pick. He's 11 overall.
Pick.
Nate, I have a feeling, like you did, that Evan was also going to take Najee Harris. Good pick. He makes the decision to go Travis Kelce. A decision that somebody has to make at the back end of the first round / second round in every league. And Jeremy's the guy who did it. And does his team suffer for it? Let's look at the RB depth here. Elvin Gordon, James Conner. Man, his team suffers for it.
I have James Robinson at the bottom.
Oh, your team doesn't suffer for it. You're fine. Big keeper value is going to save you. Even though I don't believe in James Robinson, he's still a great RB2. Like, he's never going to not be a good RB2. I just don't think he's going to perform like he did last year. But, like, you can slam this guy in for, like, 15 points a week. Maybe a 20-point game. Probably a couple, like, 9 or 10-point games. I think that's the biggest thing with James Robinson to me. Is last year it felt like he never scored less than, like, 13 points.
I would have
Because-
never picked Kelsey if I didn't have James Robinson.
And that is fair. And I didn't realize that when I said it. I think that the biggest thing about James Robinson last season is that he, like, it felt like the minimum amount of points he scored was like 13, 14 points every week. I still think that he's going to be good. I think the problem is you're going to see more 9, 10-point games out of him this season than you did last year. And that's where his value is going to get hurt. He's going to have more bust type weeks and probably less boom type weeks. I think he's just, you're just tightening the window on him a little bit. And that's my problem with him. But 50th round, who gives a shit? Value's incredible. So he goes Travis Kelce, and then he goes on a receiver run. He goes Bobby Trees, Tyler Lockett. I love me some Tyler Lockett. We talked about this earlier. The touchdown regression, if he just stays consistent throughout a season, literally has proven over the last 2 seasons to be maybe the most boom player in the NFL. Has like multiple 3-touchdown games. It's like him and Tyreek Hill. And like who else is in that conversation for like could literally drop 45 in a week. I love Jerry Jeudy. I'm a Cortland Sutton owner, so hope he does bad. But weird champ for you to hate on David for his RB wide receiver stacks and have Jerry Jeudy and Melvin Gordon on the same team.
Well,
I'll just say
Melvin
that.
Gordon was only there
I'll
as
say
a
that.
potential flex.
Yeah.
It's either
I'm
Jerry
just
Jeudy or Melvin
saying,
Gordon are going to be the.
I don't have a
flex.
problem with what you're doing, but it was weird of you to hate on the Kareem Odell stack when you have the
Well, I-
definitively
I was-
worst Jerry Judy Melvin Gordon stat.
I was more so hating on the
The
Clyde
Cl-
Tyreek because he's gonna be starting both.
Look,
of them.
it's weird of you to just you have a stack on the worst of the 3 teams we're looking at here. That's all I'm saying. And your running back might not even be the starting running back. Who knows? We're looking at you, Javante Williams.
So I was gonna
Um,
take Javante, but it
but-
got taken freaking before me.
But
in the
overall,
round.
I mean, I really like this team. I love the Corey Davis pick. I knew when I didn't pick him, when I didn't reach for him in the 7th round, he wasn't getting back. You're all in on Corey Davis. Both leagues, you got him. Right? You picked him yesterday?
I don't remember.
I think you picked him for me yesterday too, and I got sad. I wanted me some Corey Davis. I didn't get him. This is whatever. It's a handcuff. This is the Sony Michel type handcuff. Like James Conner's gonna get 100-ish touches. He'll probably catch the ball a little bit. And if Chase Edmonds goes down, which Chase Edmonds has proven over the last couple of seasons that he's gonna go down, it's a great pick. As long as he can be like some sort of an athlete. If he looks like himself last season, gross. Great James White pick. Like that's just that is what this is. I think he's going to return value. Again, I knew if I didn't pick him, you were going to pick him. I wanted somebody else in that round. You also got the Josh Jacobs handcuff, which if Josh Jacobs goes down, and over the last 3 seasons he's proven that he's going to play 14 games, not 16 games, you're going to get a couple good weeks out of Kenny Drake. Baltimore defense, who they play week 1?
The Raiders.
The Raiders. Well, that's a pretty good. The Baltimore defense are overall a great defense. So you can pretty much start them against any mid-tier team, which I think the Raiders are. Week 1, I would be afraid because I'm afraid of every defense in week 1 because the other team has had 8 months to prepare for you. But that's whatever. The Matt Stafford pick, I mean, we talked about it. I was going to pick him. You picked him. I picked Tannehill instead. I'm totally fine with that. I was taking whichever one you didn't take, more or less. This is gross. Who cares?
Here's the real question.
This
Does
is
Jeremy
also gross, but it's a
win
handcuff.
against Evan week 1?
Wow.
If he doesn't, then he deserves
Tell you
to
what.
be kicked out of the league.
Let's get our grades in and we'll dive into Evan. We'll dive into the matchup. Are we gonna do week 1
Love that.
matchups? No, we'll do week 1 matchups like next
No,
week.
Yeah,
We'll do
next
another
week,
video
next
next week.
next week.
All right. I think Jeremy's team is really good. The problem is, and we've been doing it all night, your team is great predicated on your keeper. It's the opposite of a lot of the teams we've been seeing. So like
Mhm.
you drafted as well as you could with the keeper, but I have to hold it against you in the overall draft grade because of how much your keeper means to your team's draft, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So like
Yeah,
I think
would've
it's a
took
great
Austin
team.
if it wasn't
You would
Travis.
yeah, like you'd have a totally different team comp if you had James Robinson. And honestly, if you had the 3 of them, that would be disgusting. Like there's still an argument to be made that if you had just had Eckler and then you had like, Mike Gesicki
Travis
instead of James
Kelce.
Conner, like let's say you had Mike Gesicki here instead of James Conner, and you have Austin Eckler, Najee Harris, and James Robinson. I'm a pretty big fucking fan of that team.
If I had Hawkinson in the 6th or 7th, oof.
Yeah, like let's say you go Austin Eckler. You have no need for Melvin Gordon now because you have 3 RBs on your team already. You have Hawkinson? Man, I would put like an 8.9 on that team. That's such a good team. This team, I still think this is a great team. I'm going 8.1 for Jeremy. In retrospect, I feel like I didn't grade myself high enough. These grades are much nicer than last year. I wish I had last year. I deleted the tab.
Yeah, you were
Listen.
kind of brutal last year.
Last year, I think we were brutal in drafting. I stand by our drafts were bad. I need another grade for Jeremy, guys. Also, fuck, I forgot to tell Jeremy to give me the grade. Jeremy, what grade would you give yourself?
I'm low. I'm like 7.5 because
Wow,
I
you-
hate Travis Kelce.
Don't believe in your draft. Wow, you are. Wow. All right, Jeremy, are you doing the more I look at my team, the more I hate my team right now?
Oh,
No,
that's
every time I pick an early tight end, as in
Jeremy
today and yesterday,
that's Jeremy
I'm
every
unhappy.
day.
Every day.
I
All
am
right.
unhappy.
All right, somebody.
8-3.
8-3 from Greg. Andrew.
Listen, I'm gonna go with a gentleman's 7.8.
That's fair. That's fair. We're all right around the same range. Divided by 4, it's a 7.9. Gets the round down. Doesn't get the 8.0. Last pick, we got Evan Mattis. Evan Mattis. No problems with me with the Joe Mixon pick. Personally, I would have went Eckler. That's who I would have went. But if you're a Joe Mixon believer, you're a believer in the volume. I can't fault you for that. I think Joe Mixon's going to touch the ball as much as any running back in the league this year. I don't have an issue with it. I think Evan's a Joe Mixon guy too, which is weird. Like this didn't surprise me as much when it happened. I would have gone Austin Eckler, but that's the only running back I have on my board higher than Joe Mixon at this point in the draft. This pick is weird, Evan. We got to talk about this, man. Evan. No one is picking Lamar Jackson before these
Mahomes.
picks. Like, you could have just got him in the third, fourth round. Like, you could have had Joe Mixon and Austin Eckler, and then just not had Kyle Pitts and got Lamar Jackson. Or you could have still picked Kyle Pitts and not pick a Myles Gaskin and got Lamar Jackson. Because, like, think about where Patrick Mahomes went. Where did he go? I'm trying to remember. Third round. Dan picks him here.
Beginning of the third.
Man, so here's the problem in evaluating this range is Josh Allen wasn't on the board, and Josh Allen's like the only other quarterback that goes near Lamar Jackson. So we don't know where he would have went here. Like, he could have, in theory, gone. Look, there's an argument to be made, but I think the bigger argument to be made is if you really wanted Lamar Jackson, why didn't you just take the 1 pick or the 2 pick that you were offered in the pre-draft? Because you would have been way more in your range. And like you think he just takes Lamar Jackson at the 2-3 turn instead of the 1-2 turn, and he gets like Christian McCaffrey and I don't know, a receiver, somebody.
Keenan or someone.
But anyway,
Maybe.
I did love this Myles Gaskin pick though. The Kyle Pitts pick, I don't like this pick. I think Kyle Pitts
In the third, that's a bad pick.
Kyle Pitts in the third is
Makes me feel better about Travis.
yeah. I don't even hate Kyle Pitts at the end of the third. But man, this is a big reach to me when there are guys around this area that like you're the Tyler Lockett guy. Come on, Evan. Myles Gaskin, Tyler Lockett here at this turn? Honestly, I'm on board with that team. Joe Mixon, Myles Gaskin, Tyler Lockett, Lamar Jackson, I'm on board. But this Kyle Pitts pick is weird, to say the least. The Myles Gaskin pick I really don't hate. I'm trying to think, who are the other running backs around? Damian Harris is like the only other running back in this Mike Davis. I don't have as big of an upside as Mike Davis as I do on these two guys. I was desperately hoping that Myles Gaskin would somehow make it back to me, or Damian Harris. But I don't think they would have. I think you guys would have scooped him up somewhere in here. So it's whatever. And that's why I think the Myles Gaskin pick is fine. Like, I think if Myles Gaskin gets to like probably like David, who didn't have that second RB, like David's probably picking Myles Gaskin here. So like it's not a big reach. Goes like 2 or 3 picks ahead of where he probably is gonna go. Actually, he didn't pick Damian Harris, so who knows? But and then this pick, Evan. Michael Davis is on the PUP list. He's not playing for like 7 weeks. I don't know if you like ran out of time or you fat fingered it or you just really believe in wide receiver 1 Michael Thomas, but
I think I picked him in the 10th last night.
yeah, this guy, you could have easily picked him like the 8th round and been totally fine. And then it's so at every turn, Evan picks like a one fantastic player and then a bad player. Like you're like you gimp yourself at every turn. I feel like I love one of your picks and then you go big on the other pick. At least for me. Because like I love this is the 5-6 turn. I love this Javonte Williams pick. This is a great pick
Took
here.
him right before me.
Right before Jeremy Snipes to Melvin Gordon, who I'm sure he would have loved to have Javonte Williams. The problem for me is this might be big keeper value personally. Because I
There
think
is no keepers,
Melvin
though.
Gordon, fuck, that's true, I forgot. I think Melvin Gordon is going to get run into the ground by the Denver Broncos this year. He's on the last year of his contract. They're going to run him and run him and run him and cut him and just let him walk. And then they get their nice like second year player next year. And Javonte Williams is goated next year. Then he gets this turn. I don't have any problem with this turn, personally. And this is to counteract this. But like, I mean, these are his starting receivers, and like that's kind of gross. But there's
He
no
has
reason.
Justin Jefferson though.
That's true. We all have this is all predicated on the fact that Justin Jefferson is his starter, and that's fantastic. But it's very similar to you, Jeremy. Where like his team is banking on his keeper value, which is fine. You should be banking on your keeper value. But like without your keeper, your team doesn't work, and that's I think it's too much. I love the Devonta Smith pick. There's a chance that this guy is fantastic in the league. He's for all intents and purposes, gonna get all the touches in Philadelphia. I think he's definitely the most talented receiver on that team. Jalen Hurts played with him in college forever ago. He's gonna force him the ball. Will McCole Hardman step up? An age-old question of the Kansas
think
City
he will.
Chiefs.
No.
Everyone thought he would last year. He won't last year. It is very weird that the Kansas City Chiefs are so good, but Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are so good that no one else gets the ball. Like, they're so good and they're so open that Patrick Mahomes doesn't need to look anywhere else. So the guys like McCole Hardman, like Sammy Watkins, who's not here and didn't get drafted, which I think is kind of crazy, but I don't want him.
Sammy
And
Watkins on Ravens.
yeah, and they just put Bateman on the IR designated to return. So he's like the pretty clear-cut wide receiver one on that team. But
I'm willing to make
it's
a
the
bet that
Ravens.
Byron Pringle or Demarcus Robinson gets
That's the
more
problem. Is
votes.
week to week,
Like-
one of them is going to explode. The question is which one. If it's McCole Hardman, I like this pick. Pat Fryermuth is
Wait, but those
mind-boggling to
other
me.
two, all they do is like run routes, but Hardman actually gets like he gets like backline work too, right?
Sometimes,
Sort
but
of,
like
but they were saying that like Byron Pringle has
Byron
like,
Pringle
better
has been
route running.
great. Like
Yeah.
McCole Hardman only had 41 receptions last season, and he had
Yeah.
4 carries. Nathan, like, it's a guy who only had 45
Interesting.
touches. Like, and he is speed. He's a demon.
Yeah.
He can fly. The question is, I guess the question is, can he run routes? I assume he can't run routes, and that's why he's not getting the ball.
Yeah,
But
that's
at the
probably
same
why.
time, like we said, Tyreek
I
Hill
mean,
and Travis Kelce are open on every play. Why would Patrick Mahomes go anywhere else with the football?
wasn't
You
he
know?
like a cornerback before like he switched to wide receiver?
I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure.
I
Like
have no
that's
idea.
why. But like I dropped him for Jacoby Myers in my other league, so
I have no idea. I don't hate this pick. I think it's a really high upside pick. But then again, oh no, it's not. That's the 7-8. So let's look at the 9-10 turn. What is this pick? This Pat Fryermuth pick. I understand it.
Love that.
I understand that this guy is the tight end 1 on Pittsburgh. But there are so many question marks about who's going to catch the ball in Pittsburgh. We already have Najee Harris, who's going to get a fuck ton of carries. Then we were all having arguments about Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, and Juju yesterday, who are all going to get their own work. This guy's going undrafted. You did not have to draft this guy, or you could have picked him in like the 15th round. Like, this was just, you could have had a value piece here. Who's going in this range? And I only say this because you already have Kyle Pitts. I wouldn't even hate if you didn't have Kyle Pitts and you picked him here. Like, who cares? You're picking in the 9th round. It's a tight end. You believe in the guy. I actually think he's going to be pretty good. I think he would have been a good, like, 13th, 14th pick. I think he could provide. He could be that, like, Darren Waller type guy. Like, he's the tight end 1 on a good offense. He's not going to get the same amount of work, but, like, 2 years ago, Darren Waller was a 14th pick. Nobody believed in him. Who's around in that 9th round? You know, you're looking at a team with no real starting wide receiver other than Justin Jefferson. You're in the 9th round, and you can get a guy. You can't get Michael Pittman. Never mind. You're at the back. So who can you get here? You pick Jalen Waddle, who I like. I like this pick. But like you could have gotten like a Jacoby Myers or Curtis Samuel here, or Darner. I would have liked any wide receiver here over Pat Fryermuth. I do like the Jalen Waddle pick though. There's a very real chance that him and Tua have the relationship. They played together in college. People discount that Jalen Waddle was the first wide receiver taken last year over Ruggs. I'm sorry, over Judy. Sorry, fuck. Ruggs was last year. People discount that. We can talk about Ruggs later. Jalen Waddle, great player. Played with Tua, could be great. Justin Jefferson, fantastic player. What else is there to say? Keeper. Cleveland D. Playing Kansas City week 1. Interesting choice.
Good defense.
Good defense, but they play Kansas City week 1. They play Steelers twice, and they play the Ravens twice. So
Wait, can we talk about the fact? Hold on, let's give them a rating.
I mean, there's
first.
nothing else left. You want to go Joe Burrow? That's weird. I know that you're a Joe Burrow guy, but like
Loves JB.
Lamar Jackson's your starting quarterback. Don't roster a backup quarterback. Just pick another player and pick up a random guy, because like it's not a keeper league anymore, and there's no world where Joe Burrow is ever better than Lamar Jackson in a given season. Especially not if you're second round draft capital. If you have the heart and soul to bench this man for this man, you're a better manager than me after drafting a second round pick. I love the Tyson Williams pick. This is one of my favorite picks. I think it's a great pick. Gus Edwards is hurt. This guy's gonna have 300 carries. Kicker. Overall, some really big question marks on the team for me. The Pat Fryermuth, the Kyle Pitts. I mean, like the Lamar Jackson I don't like, but like at least here you're picking a known commodity and great player. Like this is unknown and this is undraftable. And this is the biggest mistake. This Michael Thomas pick in the 5th round that could have been, dare I say, Adam Thielen. It couldn't have been. It was going out, but you know that Michael Thomas pick could have been any of these guys. Could have been OBJ. Could have been Ayuk. Could have been Robbie Anderson, and then you could have just easily picked him instead of like McCall Hardman. For me, I'm not a fan of what went down, and I'm gonna say 6.1.
Dude, I give him like a 2.
God damn, I'm not
I'm
putting
down
2.
with 2.
I'm not putting
I
2
know
down
he's
for
gonna
anyone.
He's gonna beat me week 1, so.
I look at Evan's team, and you know what I see? I see foundation.
Let's
okay?
look. Let me look.
That's
Let me look at Evan's team from this angle. Where do I
that's
have
how.
the...
Listen. Every year, right? Evan picks foundation. Okay, and that's how he wins 7 games and he gets in the playoffs. I'm going to give Evan a 7 because that's how many games he's gonna win.
Andrew, there's another week this year though.
Still 7.
Still 7. 7 and 7.
He's gonna win. He's gonna win 7 games and he's gonna make the playoffs.
It's
Fucking
funny
mark my
because
words.
I look at this starting lineup. He did slam Michael Thomas in his IR slot already, by the way.
Yeah, bro. Dude, foundation.
I can't get over the Michael Thomas in the 5th round. I just can't. And that's what's holding him down for me. If that pick was just was like a Robbie Anderson, and then instead of Javonte Williams, you've got Robbie Anderson in this slot, this is a good starting lineup. Like, as bad as we thought the draft looked, you look at the starting lineup, you go, that's a pretty good team. That's a pretty good team. +7. I need a third one that's
I don't
a
think
real
that's a pretty
grade.
good team at all.
Someone give me a third real
6.3.
grade. 6.3? Divided by
Dude,
3.
2 was a real grade, I swear.
No, it wasn't. Shut up. 6.5. Which means Evan will round us out. Let us sort.
Is it Greg first? I would like to
It's Greg and Nathan.
I would like to make a comment. Greg got a D.
Yeah.
A D plus.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got a D in Yahoo. I
Yeah.
saw that. I was like, damn, man.
Yahoo
like,
grades are
Greg really
literally
got that.
fake. Yahoo grades are literally fake. They have no idea what they're talking about.
Guys, Yahoo's making me second guess Greg's team. I don't know why. No, I like Greg's team.
D plus. I don't think I've ever seen a grade that low. It's because of this. It's because Yahoo's like analyzer hasn't caught up with Gus Edwards yet. So they think this pick was crazy.
He wasn't that low.
I mean, he was like a 7th, 8th rounder.
On Yahoo?
Yes.
Before
Dobbins got hurt.
Yeah.
I think their draft board is kept up because that is like self-learning based on all the mock drafts. I don't think whatever tool they're using to analyze.
Right, to like create these blurbs.
To create
that
these
makes
blurbs.
sense. That makes sense.
Opponents will enjoy beating him beating them with regularity.
Yahoo hates you, Greg.
Yeah,
Yahoo hates me too, Greg. Don't feel bad. Yahoo hates me too.
Gotta prove him wrong. Like,
Change your
oh
name.
yeah, you're ranked low too. What the heck?
Change your name.
You're
projected to
I need
score
to
more
think of
points than
something.
me, by the way. No, you're not. I think that's all it is, by the way. It's just like, it's your like starting lineups, like projected points over like.
I mean, yeah, that's always what it is.
12 weeks or something like that. It's like not intricate at all.
I mean, or my team's just trash. Like,
yeah, that's possible
could
too.
be that. Could be it.
Travis goes, I know they gave me an A-, but that algorithm is bullshit. All right, so this is where it stood out. We had Greg and Nathan tied for the top. Craig, solid podium. Andrew gets 8.3. That rounds out the 8s. We've got this nice little pack of high 7s out here with Jeremy, Travis, me, and Kyle. We got David rounding out the 7s. We got Bender. We got Dan. And we got Evan. Rounding it out. And that's going to do it. That's an hour and 45 minutes of us talking post-draft. It's 12 o'clock.
Good night,
well,
guys. I'm going to
reviews
sleep.
come back on
Yeah, I need to go
Tuesday.
to bed.
Maybe we'll do a little week 1 preview released on
Oh, I can't
Tuesday, and we'll
wait.
get it started.
Can't wait. I'm excited.
we'll get it started.
Flippin' Travis Kelce.
Everybody,
Travis,
peace.
trade
Travis
backups with
Kelce
me.
sucks.